All right. Welcome everybody to the All Heat Team call. This is Nikki Cotton, and I host this call with Chris Cotton and all of the rest of the other Heat NMDs. We take turns and we find great speakers to share great stuff with it. Excuse me, stuff with everybody. Excuse me. Tonight, just a quickie. Chris and I have been with the company almost 30 years, and we've gotten such a it's been a really amazing journey from day one till today, with all kinds of great changes, all kinds of amazing teammates and friendships along the way. But I don't want to talk about us, especially since apparently I can't. I don't know what's happening. Excuse me. But I do want to talk about Michael Brown, because Michael was formerly, still is, physical therapist. He's doing it independently right now. He's an incredible dad of 3. He's an amazing husband to an amazing woman, Mariah Brown, who's his partner, who has also given us all kinds of tips and tools and great verbiage. The two are such an incredible power couple. But tonight, it's Michael's really turn for us to shine on him. And what I love about what we're going to talk about is Michael and I were talking about tracking. And how do you keep people tracking and knowing where their position is going? And in the old days, we used to do something volume mapping, it was called. So I said a few words to Michael, and boom, he comes up with something better than ever expected, better than we've ever done in the past. And I have been using it continuously, and you'll see what it is. But I literally print out these pages. I write in pencil as if it's a dry board, and then I can keep making changes along the way. None of this is going to make sense to you until you hear from Michael. So Michael, you're going to unmute you, and I'm going to spotlight you, and I am going to turn all of this over to you. And there you are. Woo! Woo!
All right. So this is where I share screen.
Yep.
Because this is how I am doing it. Okay, here we go. And okay, everybody, can you see that, Nikki?
I can.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's rock and roll. So this is, I called these the treasure map. And I was super fired up just to put this together, just organize. I was able to take all of the necessary pieces of each promotion and somehow digest and distill it down to what are the basic bare bones concepts. And I call it my treasure map.
And before we hear about your treasure map, Michael, maybe you could just spend 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, telling your personal story about how you got introduced to Juice Plus, what it's done for you and your family. And you can just wrap it up quickly, because I know we got a lot to talk about. But I think there's people on the call that would like to hear from you as an Ironman, as an athlete, and as a dad.
Sure.
Juice Plus feeds into all of that.
Sure, absolutely. And so basically my story begins 12 years ago. I just finished competing in a bodybuilding competition, and my girlfriend, who's now my wife at the time, said, hey, there's something we really need to look into. The challenge is my pains at the time was that, I always had this kind of digestive issue going on. I was depending, in my 20s, I was depending on caffeinated products for energy. I was only sleeping maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a night, thinking that was healthy. And I thought it was just healthy for me to go, 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 go. And since being introduced to this simple program, the simple nutritional program, with the help of my wife, Mariah, we eliminated all of the stuff I was taking from GNC or from whatever company. And we really just simplified. We simplified my nutritional program in order to magnify the results. Okay, simplify to magnify. And basically, in doing that, I was able to build up the energy from within, didn't need caffeinated products anymore. The digestive issues went away. And as an athlete, I was able to convert my body from being a bodybuilder to a world championship Ironman finisher and compete in multiple marathons, ultra marathons. And I never got sick, as some of my fellow competitors did. I never had any injuries, and I owe a lot of it to that nutritional program, the cellular protection, right? I had a great exercise program, but it was really the nutritional program. And just like a good book or a good movie, we tell our friends. We started having friends and family let us know that, gosh, we're seeing results with this, and we were creating a residual income. And the light bulb went off, and we realized that we were sitting on a gold mine, and we could create a secondary residual income to pay for our dreams while my physical therapy practice was paying for our bills. And so we just continued on that path. And the thing I love most about our nutritional program is that that same nutritional program that I use to excel in my athletic performance and maximize recovery is the same nutritional program that my wife used during pregnancy, breastfeeding, and now we use the same nutritional program raising healthy, awesome, amazing kiddos. And you know, it's awesome. I don't have any injuries from any of my previous athletic endeavors. I've gone from bodybuilder to Ironman athlete, weekend warrior, adventure dad, and no problems, no qualms, no worries. So I'm forever grateful. And this franchise opportunity allowed us to retire my wife from her nurse practitioner job so she could be home raising the kiddos, and she and I could actually take turns being home raising the kiddos, which is our dream. We wanted mom and dad care, not daycare. Okay, so let's move into the treasure map. I want to make sure we have time to go through this. So we have the Express Track Sales Coordinator all the way through NMD. I'm going to touch briefly upon a couple of them, but before we even go there, oh, how do I fast forward it now? Oh, there we go. You know, I want us to think about the 4 doorways of what we answer, because that is why our map is so valuable. So when we're talking to people, are you happy with your health? Are you happy with your finances? Are you happy with your community? Are you happy with who you are being? And if you follow this map, are you happy? If the answer is no, do you want to change? If the answer is yes, we have your map. We have a map, and we have 4 amazing maps to offer. We have a treasure map to better health, right? With our amazing world-class nutritional program. We have a treasure map to better wealth. Just follow the staircase all the way up. We have a treasure map to an amazing community of people who believe in us sometimes more than we believe in ourselves. Really amazing. Just such an amazing heart. We have a treasure map to better self through the Brave Leaders program. And of course, through the various teachings, of course, we're just incredibly blessed with Chris and Nikki and the energy that runs down the leash to us. Be bold, be honest, be vulnerable, be committed to the activity, and let go of the outcome. That doesn't just apply to our Juice Plus business. That applies to everything. And of course, we have an amazing program of meals. We'll have to talk more about that later. So it's time to rehire me. Every day is an opportunity to rehire me. I like to do it at the end of every month and reset goals. But again, we need to awaken our why. First, we need to see the value. We need to tap into it. You know, Catherine Lee has this amazing, why are you even starting this journey? And it's not about when you're starting. You can revisit this every so often. So you connect with your why, and that's going to make your treasure map shine. So the company's already given us treasure maps for the HLP, Fast Track to VF, and the Sales Coordinator. What we're going to talk about specifically, and if you see here the get in gear and keep rolling, right? We have a pretty simple system. You know, we sponsor an HLP, help them get a paycheck, and when we do it again, and we teach them to do it again. It's really simple. And each time we do it, we spiral upwards on the marketing plan. But this is my baby here. This is the Express Track Sales Coordinator Vision Map. So what you'll see here is we have 3 circles. Each of the circles are your structure. Okay, all of the notes are on the side. And here's the beautiful thing. None of this has come from my brain on its own. What I have done is I've taken all the information from the virtual office and distilled it down into here in an easy to use format. So if you have any questions about any of this information, it's all in the virtual office under news. Okay, you just click on the stuff, it's all right there. So let's just go through and do a practice run. I don't know if everything's right there. You guys can read it. I don't think you need me to read a lot of it, but you've got 3 team members in structure and 5 new household orders. So everything's right there. Now let's start filling it in. What's the first step? Boom. What's your name? Let's fill it in there. Let's create the vision. Okay. Who's our first DD? Maybe we have somebody along the road. So we fill in their name there. Beth, awesome. She's a DD. Maybe she was from before February 1st. Maybe she's a new person. Let's fill her in there. And then we also, along the way, we're talking to someone else, and we sponsored a new frontline VF. Let's put Sarah in that circle. Now we have to, within that 90-day window of this Express Track Sales Coordinator program, you need to have a brand new HLP. That's important. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then we also have to have 5 frontline or 5 direct customers underneath us. They cannot be old customers signing up. They cannot be new orders with, they have to be brand new household orders. Super important. And what I put here is, you can see here the dates of their order. That's going to come in really handy to know. Okay. So now we have our 5 orders. We've got our dates. We've got our VF, our DD. The next piece is that we need to fill in.
Hey, Michael, before you go on any further, I want to add one little piece to this. Michael is talking about if you've already been in the business and you already have Sarah as a virtual franchisee, but if you're brand new and you're doing the express track within those 90 days, more than likely your VF will be a 2,000 pluser during those 90 days. This particular example looks like it's probably an existing distributor doing their express track. They already happen to have a VF, they already happen to have a DD, but they must do their HLP in that 90-day window. Does that, that kind of what you're implying, Michael, with the VF? Yeah,
you know, and I put the VF there because it could be a VF that's previously existing, or could be a brand new VF. But either way, you know, that needs to be filled out.
And I want to clarify one more thing, just to make sure Michael said it, but I'm repeating it because it's worth repeating. And he did say it. Your 5 new customers have to be new households, so that imagine somebody in Rachel's household who ordered on May 14th, maybe 2 years ago, somebody in Rachel's household ordered product. That household would not be considered new. So I want you to know, new means never having anything delivered to that household. And I tell you that because we've gone through this with somebody before, and I want to make sure nobody goes through that again. So a new household means it was Juice Plus never, ever, ever, ever delivered to that household before. Okay, I'm done, Michael.
Awesome. Thank you for that clarification, Nikki. Okay, so the next piece is, when is my 90-day window? Okay, the 90-day window starts at an order date. So for instance, with this, let's use the date of 5/14. So if you look at the top right corner, now you'll see the 90-day window is from 5/14 to 8/11. Okay, the company, of course, in their brilliance, has made it so incredibly simple to calculate those 90 days. Sign into your virtual office, under News, under Express Track Sales Coordinator, it has 90-day Express Track Sales Coordinator Calculator. Okay, so all I did was run into there. So let's just say, for example, by 8/11, I'm still waiting for my HLP to come through. The HLP didn't come through. I missed that 90-day window. What's the next 90-day window? It's not the end. We don't start again at 8/11. We start at the next order. So if you look under the 5 new households, Mark, his order was placed 5/18. So now the new window, oh, yeah, so, and Chris signed up 8/5. So now the new 90-day window is, I have to move this here, is 5/18 to 8/15. So now we have everything in a nice new bubble. However, household 1, Rachel, falls out of that 90-day window. We then attract somebody new. We filled in the gap with Chris, our new HLP, and bingo, we have our Express Track Sales Coordinator qualification, $700 bonus, $50 conference voucher, free conference ticket, 22 commission level, 20% commission. The sponsor gets $700 and a $50 conference voucher. Pretty awesome. Congratulations. Nikki, anything to add on this before we go to the next one?
And Michael's got it on the side. If you're a brand new rep, you're going to be doing 3,000 in new promotional volume. If you're an older rep, a pre-existing rep, then that 3,000 points is going to have to be from your start date of 5/14 or whatever that date is that you chose, Michael. Mm-hmm. So that answers that question.
Awesome. Are there any questions coming up in the chat right now before I move forward?
I'm not seeing any, but I'm paying attention. Any questions that come up, by the way, I'm in a field for Michael, so he's not going to get distracted. So if you do have a question, put it on the chat, and we'll get it back to Michael for sure.
Sweet. Awesome. So for those of you who are sponsoring, who have downline, who are working on their Express Track Sales Coordinator, what I do is I print out one of these, and then I go through an Express Track Sales Coordinator treasure mapping coaching and strategy with the new team member. And then in my strategy room, I have these up so that way I can see it. And it's in my consciousness every single day that I walk into my office. I can see them. they're in my field, they're in my thoughts, they're in my prayers, they're in my blessings, they're in my energy, and I'm continually holding them in that vision. And I continue to check in with them. How are you doing on this? What does support look like? You know, as a reminder, here's your parameters. So I'm doing all the background work while my team member is going out there in the field to make sure that they're having the conversations that are going to help them achieve this amazing promotion.
Hey, Michael, I do have a question, and I hope you know the answer because we have a situation like this. So can we go back? So let's say Chris, who's the guy that's going to do, or the woman that's going to do the HLP, they finish it. And they have to be within the 90 days of you doing this, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's just say it started right at the very beginning, and let's just say that, let's just say that Rachel was the one that actually did the HLP on 5/14. That was the first date. She sent it to the customer, and she actually completed her HLP on say 5/16 or 5/18. We're obviously, because we want to count her order, we're going to go back from her date of her order, not the date of her HLP. Clearly it falls within those ranges. So when we're looking for a new HLP, it's the date of their first order that has to be within the 90 days that they became the rep, correct?
My understanding is that the promotion has to be, it's the promotion that needs to be within that window.
And is it the promotion date, or is it the effective date?
Promotion date.
So if you promoted them on, let's just say 5/16, that's the beginning of our 90 days. Just for example, I'm not using this one.
Right. And the thing is the 90-day window. So within that 90-day window, you need to have a new HLP. So that could be someone whose 30-day window bridges that 90-day window. But what I have found with corporate is they are more focused on making sure that your 5 new household orders are absolutely within that 90-day window.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our Express Track sales coordinator. The next level up is the senior sales coordinator. So I've kind of taken all of the previous team from the Express Track sales coordinator and I've applied it here. And I've just kind of filled it out. I've added some more people. This is what it might look like as you're just about filled. One of the things that is super important as you are in the senior sales coordinator running and up above is this thing called active team. Okay, so you can see the structure bubbles, sales coordinator, VF, fast track VF within 6 months. That's a really important piece as well, and a DD, and then 3 PBQ. So when corporate looks at your structure, they don't want to see team that just have one order. They want to see team that are actually creating a little bit more volume and are actually doing the business. So the way that they've defined that is by being an active team member. If you look down here at the cursor bottom left, there's a check mark, and the check mark indicates active team. An active team is defined by a minimum of 3 customers, and that should be an and, not or, sorry, and 90 PVC or higher. The way that you find that is when you're looking at your PV report, it's column number 6. So it's all the way to the right. There's on column number 6, there's the left side of the column, which is your number of customers. On the right side is going to be the number, their individual PVC. So that's where you're going to get those numbers from. It's really easy. You don't really have to think much about this. You simply go by the report, and the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell the reality. Okay, so what I've done here is I've created, Sarah is just about a fully completed line. Beth, she's a completed line with, 6 active team members. Nikki is doing awesome. She's an active team member, and you see the little asterisk there. The asterisk indicates she's performance bonus qualified, which means she is a club under me, Michael. Okay, so just about everything here is filled out. We need to encourage Sarah to attract another active team member, and then we just about have all the structure completed. Here's the piece that really fell into place with me in wrapping my head around Payline, wrapping my head around customers and things of that nature, and how to hold a vision. For those of you who are familiar with a vision board, The purpose of a vision board is to keep it in the forefront of your mind, in your consciousness, so you think about it every day and then attract that to you. Well, I wanted to do that with the numbers. And so what I did is, if you look here, here's the grid. So step one is you project the target promotion date. And I always allow for a 1 to 2 month security. Some people go ahead and say, well, I want to hit SSC by Austin. Well, the thing is if you say SSC by Austin, that means that your SSC potentially in October, but you need to close out October before you can reach your promotion, in which case you miss walking the stage. But if you say I want to reach SSC by August, so that way I can walk in Austin in October, now you have August as a target date and you have September as a buffer. Just saying, I think it's always nice to have a little bit of a buffer. Okay, so, oh, that came out a little backwards. But okay, so we set the target promotion date. All right, so let's say for right now we want to do September, okay? And then we set the goal pay line. Okay, now some of you may not necessarily be at this place yet, so just allow it to permeate and percolate, and allow it to just plant some seeds of senior sales coordinator training here. Okay, so let's say we finished. I'm looking at my PV report from the end of May. I finished I finished off the month of May with a pay line of 5,200. Now, of course, you can find your pay line on the 12-month summary under the virtual office, and you just find that number and boom, you plug it in there. That's the baseline. Now, I know that, let's see. So if you look here, sorry, I'm scooting around a little bit. If you look where the cursor is, okay, we need a total of 16,000 pay line volume over the course of 2 months. So that averages out at 8,000 a month. So theoretically, if I'm doing 8,000 a month, then that should add up to 1,600 over the course of 2 months. I like to, rather than staying still at 8,000, I like to continue to progress. Okay, so then if you look here, I'm setting September as 9,000, and then I'm setting August as 8,000, July is 7,000, June is 6,000. You know, relatively round numbers. Okay, but here's the really fun part. How do I know how many customers that my entire organization need to attract right? You know, globally, etc. So what I do is I take the month number 2, we'll call that June, subtract from the baseline or the previous month. So 6,000 points minus 5,200 is 800 points. Okay, so that difference of 800 points divided by, on average, we as a team lead with either the shred or the quad. So on average, that's around 60 pay line points. The company talks about our flagship product being the trio, which is less than 60 points. And that's fine if you want to use the trio. It's all good. Whatever number it is that you feel like on average your organization places per order, use that, because those are realistic numbers. For our organization, it's a quad. So we'll use 60 for the sake of this training here. So 800 points, which is the difference between these two, divided by 60 yields 13. I round up to 15. Doesn't hurt to add more, right? Okay, then we take July, subtract June, gives us 1,000. 1,000 divided by the 60, right? Average customer order is a quad for us, which is 60 pay line points. That comes out to about 17 or 18. Again, I round up to 20. Doesn't hurt to have more, and so on and so forth. So you can see my goal, for my vision for my organization, for our tribe, is each of these customer orders. Okay, and then what I do is I go in and I have conversations and I say, hey, you know, what is your individual goal for the month? And maybe my sales coordinator says, oh gosh, I want to attract, 10 customers. Well, then I know that 10 of those customers are going to come from that leg, and maybe 5 from this leg and 3 from this leg. And I know I'm always going to shoot from doing my 5 and 1, because that's kind of the pace that I want to operate at. Most NMDs that I've talked to and heard training is once you reach that, your initial promotions where you're getting your VF and stuff, then you end up keep adding 5 new customers, 1 new team member, help that team member reach their HLP and their promotions, etc. Wash, rinse, repeat, love them all up. So does anybody have a question about this grid and how I came upon these numbers?
And if you do, just unmute yourself and just start talking, because we can't see you all. I definitely can't. I can only see Michael on the screen because I'm a recording person.
So I just want to make a comment here, Michael. I love that what you've done here, and so obvious right in front, you know, just adding, let's say, 1,000 PVC. Well, somebody might think, gee, I have to add 1,000 PVC for 3 months in a row. But when you break it down to really 20 customers, and if you're a sales coordinator, you've already got 15 members on your team, or maybe it's 10, but it shows that, you know, it's like, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So it just makes it so doable and not so daunting. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And here's the really cool part, right? So then we have these goals, right? These targets that we're reaching towards. And then as we close out the month of June, I'm then going to write up here in this box the actual number. And then I adjust these numbers. So if I exceeded 6,000, that means that what my team needs to attract here might be less than 20. Of course, I'm going to continue to visualize 20 because that's 20 people's 20 lives that we're continually impacting. So we can continue to adjust the numbers. And it might be to the point where, gosh, if July we finish out at 7,500, August I finish out at 8,500, well, that totals 16,000, and then I've just reached my promotion to senior sales coordinator. So, so this has really helped. And then, of course, you know, I'm a three club now, and you know, I'm projecting in June. You know, my SC leg is going to be. My SC leg is going to continue as is, and then July, you know, more people are going to qualify, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so now I'm going to go through these really quick so you can just see how it builds, right? These are all the same people from before. The senior sales coordinator stats in here are all in red, and all of the new ones are in green, right? So for the fruits and veggies. So you can see how we're just continually growing. Sarah continues to grow her business and sponsor new people. Beth doing the same. Dr. Mark really stepped in with his practice, and he's referring, and I'm, you know, helping him out being his wellness coordinator, and he's just rocking and rolling. He had a gnarly month of just really, you know, stoking lots of energy out there with his patients and having radical results. Nikki and Samantha, new fast track VFs, or continue to be the fast track VF. So, and then I would continue to do the grid down below. The numbers here are a little different. I'm not going to go into everything here for Qnmd. And then we have National Marketing Director as well. You know, you can talk about that with your upline as it's appropriate. So here we have a call to action. So now we've connected with our being of service to others through the 4 doorways. We've connected with our why that makes us cry, our why that makes us fly, our why that's bigger than our obstacles, so we can do the work to achieve that treasure map goal. Okay, we have our treasure map up on our strategy room in our office, so we can see it on a regular basis. We are holding the vision for our team, and now we have the call to action. Well, Chris and Nikki Cotton have on their Facebook page the DMO tracker on the right, and of course on the left is the missiondriven.info tracker that's posted there. And what I'm going to say is, if you have a treasure map and you don't have a DMO, it's like having a map to your destination without having a vehicle to get there. You know, you've got to put together. You've got to there's a phrase I'm trying to think of. Anyway, you've got to take action, right? Okay, so you fill out your DMO. You've got your accountability with your upline or your sideline or a buddy. President Jay Martin always says, have a buddy. Make sure you have your buddy. It's more fun that way, trust me. Okay, so now what? Now you tap into your superhero power. You tap into your why, right? And you're continually perpetuating that over and over and over again, okay? And we see you in Austin, and you're walking the stage as a new Express Track sales coordinator, a new senior sales, a new Q, a new NMD, and rock and roll, and we're having fun. So that's my presentation in a nutshell. We finished it up right at 6:30. Hopefully, if there's any questions, let's pop them out here, and let's see what else people have to share.
Hey,
Nikki,
Michael,
any
I was
additional-
We
anything I
think you're awesome, Michael.
Thank you,
I
love.
wonder who that was. If you have questions, definitely just undo your mute button. But I was thinking, Michael, and maybe if they have specific questions, you can bring that. I was going to say, don't take the PowerPoint off yet, just in case you need to refer to it. But let's see what the questions are. Let's see if we can do without it. And if we need to go back, we'll always pull it up. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So for people, it's Heidi.
Okay.
So for people that want to do this map in particular, they go to their upline to ask for sure, right? And they get access to the map.
Yeah, I'm happy to share it. I know Nikki has the template, so she can share it. Nikki?
I will post it on the HEAT Facebook group so that all the JPEGs are right there and anybody can print them off at any time. Thanks, Heidi.
Good question. Anybody else?
Hey, Michael, this is Patty. That was absolutely Qnmd material. What an amazing trainer you are. But could you clarify for those that might have questions on the installment points compared to pay in full points?
Good question. So when you're going for your HLP or your fast track to VF and even the express track, the company, so for every order that you have, right, they're paying money out of, let's say, their credit card. The company, equates that to purchase volume credit. All right. When you're going for those initial commission promotions, they're counting all of that volume all at once. When you're going for the upper level leadership promotions, they're counting it as it comes out of the credit card. So if it's on if you have a shred customer who's paying every month, then you're only going to get the pay line volume that's equatable to the money that comes out of their credit card each month. If they pay in full, then you get it all at once. Okay, so I'm still working on ways to simplify that down.
I'm going to simplify it for you right now. Let's say
Thank you.
somebody orders the Core 4. That's the red, green, purple, and our Omegas. That's our PVC, our points on all those 4 are 247.5 points. When you're going all the way up to sales coordinator, you get to count the whole 247 points for whatever points you need. If you're going to the 2,000 plus and you got a Core 4 quad, you're going to get to count all 247 towards the 2,000 points you need. If you're going for sales coordinator and you need 8,000 points over time, over the 6 months, you're going to count the whole 247 towards that 8,000. But when you're going to senior sales coordinator, you only count what the person is paying on. Let's say again, the Core 4, you're not going to get to count 247 points. You're going to get to count 55 points each month for the next 4 months as your points. So in those last 2 months, that customer is worth 55 points to you because he's paying the 247 month by month, so it's divided by 4. So if that helps you in terms of points and numbers, I hope that made it a little bit more clear for some of you.
Awesome.
Good job.
This was fun. Thanks.
The natural.
Total natural. Thank you, Michael.
All right. Well, love you guys. Thanks for being on the call. Nikki, I think we can wrap it up.
Michael, as I knew it would be, first of all, when I saw him put this together from the beginning, because we used to have a volume, what we called a volume mapper, the treasure map, it was like a dinosaur. It was very cumbersome. It wasn't easy. But I'm going to tell you, I have a notebook with anybody going for Express Track Sales Coordinator and beyond, and their name is on it, and I write it in pencil, and people can get erased, and people get added on, and I could not do this without these forms that Michael came up with. So all I can do is take my hat off if I had one on and seriously thank you. And for those of you that are helping other people get to those positions, I promise you it will make a huge difference and an easy way to help them get to their positions. Because you forget, if you're bouncing between senior sales coordinator and Q, you kind of forget what the qualifications are. But if you pull that sheet out, it's all on there for you with the person's name. So it's amazing. I can't repeat that enough times.
Awesome. Thank you. I've had amazing coaches. Love you guys.
All right.
Love you.
Thank you, Michael.
Somebody have a question?
No, but go ahead and unmute everybody.
Yeah, let's everybody unmute yourself and give Michael a heat. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, buddy.